Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Maker. Well, it's that time again. It's time for the 4th edition of randomly selected levels, starting out with this one, Whut by PolarStars, 8 plays and a score of -2. As usual, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part, please leave the level name or preferably the level ID in a comment below or direct message me on Twitter. And as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also, I will be selecting all the levels using the random level option present under the MISC section of the online levels, but I won't be showing it on screen because it errors out so many of the times. Just like in the previous 2 parts, it has a tendency to error out a lot. I mean, just to get this level randomly selected, it took about 5 attempts. I don't know why the random level option fails so often. So I'll be doing it off screen so you don't have to see the repeated failures of the server. But rest assured, all of these levels are randomly picked using the random level option. I'll just edit out all of the failures and go directly. Okay, we only have the Mega Buster. At least we have the Megaman V charge shot. I don't know why it's called Wait What, but fine with me. Nothing is too bad yet, thankfully. I was worried it'd be a lot more worse or something. I despawned the Big Eye. Well, the stage so far isn't that hard anyway. In fact, it was more on the nice side, and that was me being too hasty and expecting there to be Yoku blocks. The fault is on me. Well, so far the stage isn't that bad. I was expecting something much worse, but it's relatively fair. Okay, this is a nice Yoku block segment, slowly moving us forward. I don't get why it's rated -2 for some reason. I learned from my mistake from previous other levels. I'm not going to be falling directly down there. Okay, nothing to the left, I suppose. I can't access it. And checkpoint placement and enemy and gimmick introduction is more on the fair side anyway. And plus, because I have the charge shot, all the shielded enemies and Big Eyes aren't much of a problem. The only real problem about the stage so far is that it doesn't have a discernible gimmick. But at least it's not frustrating. That's the most important thing. And it's rather generous on E-tanks. G O B A C K. Go back. Well, that's one way of saying go back, by getting skewered in the spikes. Okay, that means go left then. I'm gonna take a quick look at the right side, then I'll go back again. Because I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah, there's probably that edge over there that I need to get back to. There should be an exit for the stage as well. I'm probably just missing it somewhere. And I think I can make the jump, I just need to kill off this Picketman. I guess that's why these enemies are facing this direction. How do I reach there? Oh, I guess that's why this level got a score of -2. Because players got stuck trying to figure out where the endpoint of the stage is. No, it's not there. Where could the end of the stage be? I had a faint suspicion that there would be a trick over there, but no. Scratch my earlier statements. I realized there was one location I didn't take a look at, and lo and behold, it's left of the starting point. There's a boss door hidden right over here. There's no way you can access the boss from the bottom portion over there. Thankfully you can backtrack, I suppose, but it's best to restart the stage. So yeah, this is a troll maneuver, that's why I got a thumbs down. And of course, me, Megaman. I should have known that. I should have checked here initially. But yeah, I'm still gonna thumbs down the stage. Mainly because I don't think that's a good level design, and well, this stage certainly wasn't... It certainly didn't signal that it was a troll stage, that's for sure. But at least we have an E-Tank to fight Sparkman, so it isn't really much of a tough fight anyway. And we have the Mega Buster Charge Shot in order to speed up the process anyway. So that was the end of Wait What? I guess the punchline of the joke was referenced in the title itself. Second level on the random lineup is Tornadojump Norml by Akteon Z110. 5 plays and a score of 1. Judging by the name, this is going to be a gimmick-based stage focusing on using the Tornado Jump. Or no, it's the NATO, That's one way of circumventing it. Plus I have infinite usage of NATO too, so it's not too bad. I get the feeling there are alternate pathways that can go down by falling down those pits. I'll take a look at it later. But because I can quick switch between the NATO, I can completely break these challenges. I'm not sure if the level designer anticipated that we would have the ability to just chain the NATO repeatedly over and over, and oh goodness, I broke the level design now. Well, at least I had the infinite NATO, so I survived there. If I didn't have the NATO, I would have died over there, that's for sure. But being able to chain infinite NATOs, this breaks this stage in half. Like I said, I don't think the level designer thought that we'd be able to do it like that. Oh, goody. Okay, this is certainly going to become a lot more difficult. I think they did. At this point, you have to chain the NATO properly in order to get down there and reach the checkpoint. Alternatively, I can just do this and damage boost off of the tellies. Sure, it's the slower route, but hey, it's safer. Might as well take it. And there's a lot of enemy spam, but it isn't much of a problem to get by. It's certainly a less difficult version of the NATO stages, and I do approve of that. It's not too punishing, thankfully. I get the feeling that I'm supposed to take the middle route over there, but instead I'll just take the upper route. After all, there's no ceiling on the top. And once again I broke the scrolling, so I gotta be really... okay, it fixed itself. Oh, whoa, whoa. I was a bit scared over there that I was gonna die by falling into spikes. In fact, I thought I was gonna die a lot more in this stage, but no, I'm surviving. I'm gonna take the lower route and see what it has to offer. Nothing. Except that we spawned the boss a bit earlier. At least he's weak against the NATO too. The only problem is I have to worry about getting hit by his projectiles. Yeah, the crash bomb will still damage me, even if I'm in NATO form. One more hit should do the trick. Oh, I thought I was gonna die there. And that was the end of the Storm stage, I suppose. I forgot the title. It was a nice gimmick-based stage. I thought I was going to use the Wind Tornado here, but no, it was just a NATO. It was fun, but chaining together all of the NATO usages really broke the stage in half, excluding certain segments like the one with the spikes over there, like this very tight spike corridor, but I broke that in half as well by just damage boosting off the tellies. Still, I'll give this a thumbs up to be a bit generous, although it's on the average side. Third level on this random lineup is GTLive for the Win by Mad Hatter, 24 plays and a score of -1. I get the feeling we're gonna encounter a lot of levels that are negatively scored. After all, random levels are pooling from all of the uploaded levels that are still on the server. So we're gonna see a lot of subpar to low quality levels of various kinds. After all, I firmly believe in Sturgeon's Law, that being that 90% of everything is subpar. Only 10% of the stuff is average and above. At least that's what I think. I also believe in two of the corollaries, those being that it's hard to decide. It can be very difficult to decide which 90% of the stuff is bad and what 10% of the stuff is at least decent. And the more people you have, the harder it becomes to decide which is which. Not to mention some of the 90% is somewhat enjoyable. So bad it's good, as it said. Oh, it's spelling out GTLive. Of course, it also has every single special weapon that I foolishly didn't use. And now we have the boss fight against Megaman, of course. This was a short stage. I should have known. What is his weakness? Would like to know that. Oh, of course, it's that. Nothing too bad, I can at least shift it quickly. And that was the end of GTLive FTW. Well, it was just GTLive spelled out in a boss fight against Megaman on uneven terrain, so that stage was just there. Fourth level on this random lineup is PracticeHH by RockmanHH, 13 plays and a score of -6. And judging by the level ID of 5158, it's one of the older levels that were submitted. Well, okay. That was kind of a troll trap. You need to hold right immediately as you go. But this is one of the older levels that have been submitted in Mega Maker. Okay, only Mecha Buster. Okay, Mega Man 2 Physics. Oh, goodness gracious, now I know why it's called PracticeHH. There's a lot of troll maneuvers here. And tight jumps, my favorite. And bad enemy placement, of course. I want a damage boost off of this. I'm not sure if I can make the jump properly. Because stuff like that can happen, but I realized the Colton's bullet is too far on the ceiling. I can see why this stage got a -6. Very clearly why. What happened there? Oh, I forgot my damage boosting abilities were negated there because I ran out of invulnerability frames. I'm gonna try this stage about a half a dozen more times, but if I keep failing, I'll just exit out and take another level. Also, if the A button fails to register by the engine, I'll fall. I keep harping upon the engine dropping inputs, but it's a continuous issue I'm seeing in every part or so. Okay, damage boosted correctly this time. I think I can make that jump normally, but... Okay, a lot of badly placed enemies are in really tight configurations. Normally I wouldn't complain about it that much as long as I had special weapons, or the charge shot, but I don't have access to it here, so it can become quite annoying, especially with enemies like Picketmen who have random number of pickets who can fire. Oh phew, at least the checkpoint placement isn't that bad. I was expecting no checkpoints here. Well, I suppose it was more for the developer's sake. Yeah, I was hoping I could make that jump or slide between the spikes there, but no, it's not possible. I'm going to have to fall on the right side and fall down there. I need to be careful with bonking my head, and if it's too precise, I'm just gonna skip this stage. No need to see me go through this stage, and seeing how many players have rated this stage as negatives, I don't think this stage has much to offer. I'll try 2 more times and then I'll just go on to something else. Because I get the feeling that the rest of the stage is just more precise spike jumps. And combined with this engine's unshareable hitboxes, that basically means I won't be able to complete the stage normally. After all, like I said, I don't really like precision-based stages with all these spikes. I prefer more timing-based stages. If they're more precision-based, I wish they're more based off of timing on platforms rather than spikes. Yeah, I'm quitting out of the stage. I'm giving it a thumbs down as I just feel like it focuses so much on this precision-based challenges, or rather just the precision-based spikes, but it doesn't have a unique identity. Fifth level on this random lineup is Up or Down by Akteon, 5 plays and a score of 0. Well, at least we have a neutral scored level. So let's see what this has to offer. We have 2 directions to go, I suppose, up or down, and we're immediately introduced to force beams, Yoku blocks, and that super ball cannon. Thankfully, at least we know what's coming up. We only have access to the Mega Buster and the Megaman 5 or 6 charge shot. I would have liked if the intro screen showed what charge shot we have access to. That would help a lot. Oh, and thankfully these force beams are green or yellow colored. There's no red ones yet. Oh, there's the red force beams. Okay, good. So it's just a waiting game. Fine with me. It's nothing too bad, actually. Actually pretty fun. Nothing is too painful yet. Keyword is yet. Good checkpoint placement. I would have said there should be a checkpoint over there, and okay, I was expecting about 1 or 2 more segments of the stage, but we're right at the boss fight. Oh, goody, now this type of environment is really advantageous for Crashman, I mean. If I can stay down here, I'll be immune to Crashman's shots. If I can actually even get a hit on him. Oh boy. I don't have access to E-tanks either, so that's gonna be a slight problem. Oh, wow. Well, as long as I keep sliding downwards, Crashman won't be able to throw the crash bombs beneath me. So that was up or down. A really nice introduction to the stage gimmick of all those force beams going up on those elevators of sorts, and waiting for the Yoko blocks to appear so you can go up safely. But it ended with that one section, so I was really hoping there was 2 more sections to complete the stage. Otherwise it feels like a prototype for a full stage. 6th level on this random lineup is Quase Pesadelo by Fasperito, 15 plays and a score of -1. There are a lot of server errors I'm getting when I use the random level option in this part. I've gotten at least 5 dozen so far, and I even got a full error message out of this game. The one that pops out of Game Maker games. I don't know why the random level option of this game is so buggy. I mean, I feel like I have a better shot at this randomly typing in numbers for the level ID and the enter ID option. That was my fault. Rather than just using the random level option. It's that bad. And I don't get the reason why it has to be so unstable. Why is it so difficult to make one of those? I don't know. Hopefully that'll be fixed with version 1.10 or something. As that's really annoying for players like me who want to eventually try out random levels. Oh, of course, we have Rush Coil here. In fact, we have Windstorm and a whole bunch of other weapons. We can actually get access to the E-tank. Well, we can't because we're too far away. Well, that's a nice challenge. Well, it's certainly a little bit more challenging than the rest of the levels we've played so far, outside of that one level of the precision spikes. But so far it's relatively fair. Sure, there's spikes over here, but it's not too bad. And of course, the aforementioned Yoko Block segment. Nothing too bad, though. I get the feeling that the access to the E-tank is at the bottom. I'm just gonna damage boost through everything, just so I can get to the end faster. Oh, and I still got hit by the Rabot. Oh, never mind, the M-tank is right over here. I wonder what would happen if we would take the bottom route. Would we get stuck or something? Okay, I guess this was the right path. I'm not sure why we need the large life energy combined with the extra life. What's over here? Okay, I thought those teleporters were more trollish ones or sent me somewhere else. And time for the boss fight against Plant Man. Nothing too problematic. I'll just use the charge kick because it seems to deal the most amount of damage. Just gotta be careful with my life usage, of course. I'll just use my M-Tank right now. It seems that Windstorm doesn't do anything, unfortunately, so he doesn't have a weakness. Wait, are you forced to use special weapons? Yeah, you're forced to. That means that M-Tank is mandatory. So yeah, that's deducting a point out from the stage because you can miss that M-Tank. And, well, if you're out of weapon energy, you're out of luck. Then again, there was that large... I think there was a large weapon energy earlier, so it fits that. If not, well, you can get stuck and you're forced to restart the stage. Well, it was a pretty fine stage so far, I'd say. Though, it needs some work with the gimmick usage, but... I won't give it a thumbs down, but I won't give it a thumbs up either, because it needs a little bit more work. But it's almost there to being about average. 7th level on this random lineup is Mega Man Trapped by PrinnyMat. 13 plays and a score of -1. Well, I expected there to be a lot of levels in the random selection to be in the negatives. Although thankfully most of them aren't painful to play through outside of that one spike-obsessed level. And that one trollish level, so it's fine, I suppose. Let's see how it's a Mega Man Trap. Okay, top spin, charge kick. No no charge shot. Oh, I see. You're forced to use the charge kick here. In fact, you need to do it in order to access the E-Tank and M-Tank. How do I get here? Oh no. Okay, so this is one of those stages that's going to be a bit more trolly and Kaizo-ish, where they're going to put objects right out of view. I was expecting there to be a teleporter taking me to the end right over there, like a dev exit. Well, I see what I need to do here now. I need to position myself just correctly so I can get in the teleporter. And now I'm taking through all these series of teleporters, better be on my knees here. I totally expected there to be a bed of spikes over here, but no, it was a bit kinder. A lot more kind than what I expected it to be. No, I was hoping I could circumvent the challenge, but no, that's not possible. At least we have enemies so far. You know, I was expecting something a lot more trolly, but apparently not. I'm not taking any chances with those spike hitboxes. I want to take it nice and slow because I expect there to be a lot of more jerkish maneuvers. At least these lines of enemies aren't picket men. I also expect a lot more gotcha moments with the spike hitboxes, if you were to ask me. Okay, and spoke too soon. Here are the picket men. Let me see. I want to see if there's something on the left there. I'm awfully suspicious there's some extra goodies. No, it's just a solid wall there. Whenever I see I can access the ceiling like this, I always get the feeling there's some hidden secrets there for some extra stuff. Then again, I already have all those E and M tanks in the first place, so I don't think it's really necessary. Oh no. I see an upper route over there. I'm gonna take it. If I can ever get there. Wow, I expected the jump height from the top spin to be much higher. The hitbox broke over there, and I was hoping the next thing on the line was the charge kick, but okay. Not the best place to put me over here, but I'll have to make do. I want to see the upper route before I take the lower route. But I have a feeling I know where that's going to lead to. That being that spike bed over there. Spoke too soon. I totally expected this stage to pull that trick, especially at the beginning. Oh no, okay, good. I thought it was gonna lead me... Oh, I'm trapped over here in this troll teleport. Okay, this stage is filled with troll teleports and tricks. I need to take the left route here. Also, I guess I get why they gave me damn tank usage there, because if I run out, I'm stuck. And... Okay, at least I have access to the E-Tank over here. I thought it was going to be embedded into something or taken to that troll teleporter once again. But no, it was more kind this time. But I better be on my guard in case something else decides to pop up. And yeah, these are rather durable. I'm just going to the boss door immediately. And I'm going to reset over here because I'm almost out of energy and I want to conserve my E-Tanks. I don't know how jerkers the boss fight coming up is going to be. Of course it's in water and it's Napalm Man. Oh no, I have a hunch what it is. At least he's not weak against either of the weapons. I really hope he's not weak against the Mega Buster. I'm just gonna use the classic Mega Buster. Good. He's not resistant against the Mega Buster. So I'm just gonna damage boost the boss, or rather just wail on it repeatedly, and just use the M-Tanks in order to absorb the damage. Hey, I don't want to die here in the boss fight, that's why. Not to mention all the other special weapons deal 1 point of damage, so I might as well use the weapon that's easiest to hit him with. Not taking any chances here, M-Tank. But this was a relatively normal length stage actually. Outside of those troll teleports, this was actually pretty fun. Sure, it didn't really have a discernible gimmick outside of the troll teleports, but it was fun. And it was a little bit enemy spam with those corridors, but I enjoyed it actually, so I'll give it a thumbs up. In fact, I would say it's up there with the second level in terms of being my favorite in this part. Favorite being in air quotes because they're still not that good. At best they're average. 8th level on this random lineup is Bommereng by Redil Up. 2 plays and a score of 0. It's saying something when I feel like the random levels, or rather the levels with 0 score, are the most promising and not the most worrisome. Okay, quick Bommereng. At least I have infinite usage of it. And I can spam it against these enemies and well, I can always just use this in order to access it. So fine with me. I was worried there was going to be a hidden spike somewhere, but no. Okay, down we go. Oh. Well, at least I can damage boost off the tellies. It's going to be one of these stages, I see. Where we gotta hurry and everything. Well, thank you for despawning yourself, Big Eye. Really appreciate that. Oh, phew. Okay, Yoku blocks. Oh gosh, that background is rather vibrant, hard on the eyes. A little bit of a jerk jump over there, but you can actually make it pretty easily. I'm just gonna kill off these enemies first before I move on forward, because I really need some extra health. Well, I got one of them at least. Oh, whoa. I don't know how I made it there. I thought I was gonna fall in the spikes. Lucky me. Oh. This room, I held the up button, but the game didn't take it. I probably should have used the E-Tank over there. Alright, I made it back to the room filled with all these different colored tellies. I'm gonna use the Picketman pickets in order to damage boost past all those enemies. Okay, time for this room. Okay, it's filled with all these count bombs and a Ben K. Why was there a gap in between? Well, I decided to just damage boost off of it. It's the safer approach after all. And now we have to fight all these super caterpillars by themselves. They wouldn't be as much of a problem as long as I had the Mega Buster, but I only have the short-range quick Bommereng. Actually, I do have the Mega Buster, silly me. if I just summon Rush, I should have known about that. I also had to consume an E-Tank in order to get past that one room. Alas, it's time to fight Napalm Man. Let's see what his weakness is. Okay, I'll just use the quick boomerang because it has an upward firing arc, so I can more easily hit him with it. Plus I have access to an M-Tank, so this fight should be easy enough. This stage was not that bad outside of that one rather difficult room, but if you get used to it, it isn't that bad. It just requires some practice. And also, I neglected to mention this in the previous parts or so, but the quick boomerang is an auto-firing weapon. If you hold down the fire button, it'll automatically fire. But if you button mash, it fires a lot faster. That's why I'd like to button mash the quick boomerang. But I suppose it's a lot better if you want to focus on platforming and you want to keep firing out your projectiles without having to button mash. So I kind of enjoyed Boomerang, but I would like to see it taken further before I give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. 9th level on this random lineup is Bad Apple by KKM, 8 plays and a score of 2. Gosh, this is one of the highest scoring levels in this part. Tied with one other level, I suppose, and that's saying something. I think this will be the final level I'll cover in this random level selection. Some of the levels have rather tuckered me out. Okay, we have a ladder climb, of course. Filled with all those potons. Now we have all these tadpole eggs, or poles chasing us. First on the ladder and now over here. Okay, as long as you keep moving we're fine. Oh, we also have the Metal Blade and Firestorm, so some of those enemy placements were more of my fault for not avoiding. Well, taking care of all these beaks isn't that difficult either, because you can just one-shot them with the charge shot. Now we have the Ben K over here. I get the feeling if I take the upper route over here, I'm going to be blocked off or something, and this is actually just a preview to the actual route. Oh yeah, that was right. I have to take the bottom route over here in order to access the next part of the stage. Taking the ladder to the right was just a preview. After all, it can't be that easy. Then again, I could have used the NATO in order to break something, so gotta be a little bit careful here, otherwise we'll get stuck by all these. Then again, I already have all the special weapons that can just one-shot the Octopus batteries or Susies, so I should be using them. After all, this stage is rather focusing on special weapon usage, as evidenced by the force usage of the Metal Blade. You know, I haven't really been identifying what each stage type is in this part, mainly because most of these stages are rather forgettable in the first place. Would like a life pickup here. Only thing I'm getting is more just weapon drops for some reason. Finally. But so far it's fun, I suppose. Sure, it does have enemy spam, but we have all the special weapons necessary in order to combat the enemy spam. And there isn't really any jerk maneuvers yet. Except maybe here, but do we have the skull barrier? No, we don't. We gotta be careful here so we don't get knocked into the spike wall, I suppose. Or, of course, I could just use the plant barrier in order to absorb everything. Well, this effectively diminishes the challenge, but I suppose if you wanted a more challenging experience, you can always just refuse to use the special weapons outside of the mandatory ones. They're just here to make the experience smoother and easier. Also, good checkpoint placement. If there's one thing I'd like to say about this stage, it's enemy spam done right, because we have all the capabilities to fight back the enemies. Wow, I didn't realize the proton heads can get stuck over there. That's neat. Plus, we have the NATO in order to save ourselves if things go rather awry. Not to mention we can spam it in order to cross this gap, but I don't want to take the risk where we get hit by something. Oh, Yoku blocks. Oh, whoa, goodness. Using the tornado almost killed me there because I forgot I was supposed to move forward. Too bad I don't have the charge kick. Now, the only time I really want special weapons, I don't have the special weapon energy dropping. Whereas before, when I wanted the life, I got all of it. Figures. Now I'm out of NATO energy. This is the mix of all these types of gimmicks I've seen. Oh, yeah, Firestorm. Time it at the right point, and no, it didn't get timed right. Okay, there it is. I want NATO. It's not working. Well, I gotta do it again this time, because I didn't make the upper route and I'm getting knocked all over the place. Unfortunately, I don't have access to an M-Tank either. I guess this is the segment where you have to keep running upwards as quickly as possible. Well, we're at the boss fight now. I decided to quickly save because... or at least reset so I get full energy. Okay, Cut Man. How are we gonna hit him? I see we have all these tellies for some reason, so I suppose we need to use a special weapon. Or not. What is his weakness? Oh, it seems to be like the Firestorm, but I have a hunch it isn't. What could it be? Can NATO reach him? Yeah, it can. Well, I guess it's the Firestorm. He's taking a lot of damage from it. More damage than usual. Either that or he has no weakness at all. Well, the fact that I lack an E-Tank is negated because I have all these tellies restoring all my weapon and life energy. So overall, this was a pretty fun stage. I would say so far, this was my favorite stage in this part of the random levels. It was the enemy spam stage done right, at least for me. It was fun to play through, basically. Mainly because we had all the capability, proper checkpoint placement, and the fact that you could get by most of the enemies, if you were fast enough, pretty well. I like that we have all the special weapons that are necessary to deal with those enemies rather quickly, so we aren't caught out in the blue. I do wish we had access to the perfect freeze weapon, but we can't have them all, I suppose. So good work, KKM. So overall, based off the level selection I got so far, I would say this was the worst or second worst in terms of level selections. I would say as bad or almost as bad as the level selection in the second edition of random levels. So many negatively scored levels and rather forgettable levels. Only 2 or 3 levels I would say are average to almost decent, like the previous enemy spam level, Bad Apple. Well then, in the next part, I'll be covering 5 or 6 viewer submitted levels. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!